Hi guys, my name is Kretz and today we're going to be talking tripods. As you see, we have at least 3 here and we're going to be talking about even more of them, but of course concentrating on this one, which I actually consider to be the best that I've personally ever used. And now let's get started, and while you are watching you're going to be watching the actual unboxing of the package that arrived to me, and it starts from here. I'll tell you just a couple of disclaimers and the brief story of how it all started with me. Well, first, the FreeWell company sends me these products for free, but they do not pay me any money and they never ask to say anything about their products. So this review is totally independent and it's just my honest and fair opinion and attitude to that. Second, I'm not so much a user of kind of travel tripods. I mostly shoot my videos like this here, stationary at my apartment or at my studio, and I rarely bring it outside. I'm not a landscape shooter or something, so I would not consider myself a professional in tripod usage, but maybe that's the reason why I can judge it a little bit more fairly and unbiased. And this tripod I would call, well, barely a full-size tripod, but it's at the same time it's the smallest of the full-size tripods that I've ever seen, and of course it's the smallest as well, but nonetheless it's very effective and it's full, it's packed of features. And now with the unboxing out of the way, let's get to it and let's see. Well, it is called the Sleek Travel Tripod, but I would actually maybe call the real travel tripod this little piece, and I hope FreeWell creates something like this one day, because it's really small, all metallic, reliable and very comfortable. It's basically pocket-sized tripod. But you see, this is bigger, and this is my actually standard tripod that I've been using for several years. This is a really inexpensive Chinese tripod with some, you know, not very popular brand, but it's quite reliable, it's usable, and it's nice, and I've used it for some years. But you see, it's way bigger and it doesn't have some features. Sometimes it's uncomfortable comparing to this one, and we'll go into the details just in a few seconds. But now let's finish with the box. You've seen the unboxing, but what about the box itself? You see, it says a lot of things. I'll show you that on the screen, but what's in the package when we open it? Well, I already took the tripod out, but it has this kind of carry pouch, very stylish, gray finish, nice. And the thing is, all the accessories also fit this this pouch. Well, I mean, sometimes the manufacturers create these pouches and only the tripod gets in there without the keys, without some additional maybe ball heads or something. Well, this time it all fits in one, and that's great. But what other accessories come with it is, I would say, the full pack of Allen wrenches, because the tripod itself has a lot of screws and they are all in, most of them at least, with Allen wrenches, and you have the full pack for each and every screw that you need. So it's always good to have, but there's no additional pouch or holder, you know, for holding it on the leg or something like that. But of course it fits the pouch, as I've told you. Let's take it out of the way. What else does it say? 900 grams, lightweight. Well, this is really light. Let's talk about the weight. This is my regular tripod, and this, I don't know, maybe twice lighter. You see, it's way smaller, of course, as you see, but it's really about twice lighter. Very light tripod. This is much heavier, and I'm not sure that heavier means more reliable in this case. This feels really high quality product in the hands. By the way, just like everything from the FreeWell that I've received and I reviewed, all their products are 100% high quality, which I really love. But what else is here? No. Well, the height. I'll show you different types of height that you can use here, but the lowest is 16 centimeters, then about 12 and a half, and well, I mean 125 centimeters, and then 1.5 meters high. We'll compare it to this one. So the highest is 1.5 meters, which is not the biggest, of course, there is, but it's decent enough for basically any type of production that you need. So the box is very nice, high quality as always. So they do not, you know, save up money even on the packaging. The model is called T1, so I hope the tripod maybe, or Travel 1. Hopefully they make a lot more than that. And it says that the tripod itself holds up to 8 kilograms and the head 5 kilograms. That's a lot, and we'll test it a little bit later. We'll try to put the heaviest camera that I have on this tripod. But now let's get closer and start the real review. And we'll go from the bottom to the top because it's getting more and more interesting as you go your way up. So let's start with the legs. The legs have these rubber tip finish, just like basically everyone else, and this one as well. But one other tripod that I have, I don't have it right here with me, it's in my studio. It has its rubber pads here removed, you can remove it, and there's some kind of like a spear left so that you can stick it in the dirt, into mud, into sole, if it's soft or something like that. So if it's ice or some slippery floor, or a carpet, of course, you can, remove these rubber things and just stick it with the spears on the top of the legs. Nothing like that here. I can see it's removable, but it's not a big deal. I've actually never used that thing on that tripod. These rubber things are just great, like on any other tripod. But what's the best thing? Previously, I had this one. Let me take it. And you see, it's telescopic, of course, like all the other legs, but it has a separate knob or regulator for each section. So you see they have 3 sections, and you have to unscrew and screw back each one of them to have it the longest. Right, so there we go, and you have to screw it tight and stuff. But oh, sorry, I used the leg which can be detached like a monopod, so which I'll show you later as well. But here's how it works. I can't even remember what direction I should fix it. But anyway, this is way easier. So see, 3 legs, 3 regulators on each leg. So 9 things to unscrew and tie back. That's a nightmare. But here, just 1. How could that be? Yes, this one little rubber tip of the leg, you just unscrew it and stretch. That's the whole thing. Then, of course, you screw it back, and there you go. And it's sturdy. It doesn't collapse back. You see, I can hit it, actually. It holds really well. Well, of course, I can easily do that with all 3 of them. And there we go. It's so easy.
I did not pull the last one, I believe, because one feels a little bit longer than the others. I just need to... Holy crap, how does that work? There must be more to it. 1, 2, 3. How can this be possible? Brilliant.
Alright, I forgot the other one. So that's the full height, you see? It's like the chest height, and you can even make it bigger with the central column. So this is the full height, like how high would you like it to be? This is really nice and high. So this is a full-size tripod. It's really big, I would say, in height, of course, but it's very light, as I said. So really easy. Of course, you can adjust separate sections separately, but with the same one knob. Just one, any section, then you screw it back, and you're good to go. You have a little bit lower tripod. And of course, all of them could be collapsed back really easy. You just need a little bit of time to get used to it, but when you do, you just have unscrew them all with one knob. You see? 1, 2, 3, 4, get back. What could be easier? To my taste, this is just fantastic. This is the easiest you can have. So, it's all good, but what else? We're going up the leg. And we have a little bit of attachment here. It actually comes separately in a separate pack in the package in the bag, but I've already attached it to the leg. And that is your holder for the Airtag if you use that. So if you lose your tripod, you can find it with your Airtag. But what's more important to me, this is a key holder, you see, for another Allen wrench. It's weird that they have just one here and all the others in the other pack. But anyway, this is the one most useful because this key is actually for regulating the stiffness of the legs, one. And second, it is for fixing your camera, for fixing the Arca-Swiss plate on your camera. This wrench fits here. So this is the two most useful regulations on your tripod. The fixing of your Arca-Swiss plate and the stiffness of the legs, which can, lose over the time. But at first glance, if you put it over here and forget about it, and you turn the tripod over, of course, your key can fall out, you see? It doesn't hold. But that is because you should put it inside properly. Just one fixed way, because it has magnets over there. And if you place it properly, like here, it will never fall, even if I shake it really hardly, you see, never falls. So magnet is just a fantastic idea. So it holds in place, you can always take it with you. Now, let's go further. And let's finish with the central column, you see. It's all connected with the legs. Now let's finish with the legs. So this is the smallest spread that you have. Of course, you can collapse it back, and this is the smallest, but these little adjustments can make it. Has like actually 3 types of freedom. So this is, you can make it widest, and of course for that you'll need your central column to be raised up. So that's the lowest that you can have. You can get your camera lower just in a second, I'll show you, but now let's finish with the legs. The second one is a little bit more narrow. 1, 2, 3. Now like this. And the narrowest thing is, as I've showed you. Well, of course this tripod has the same, but it has additional clamps that you have to fix with your hands. Then it's like this. And if like this, you need to push it inside. Nothing like this here. It's just it automatically clamps. So this is the highest. Click lower, click lower. It's way easier than here. Now, how you do the lowest of all, and that is very interesting because at the bottom of this central column we actually have the hook right here. The hook is useful for a couple of things. For 3, I believe. One is just to place your backpack here. If you don't want to place, if you're shooting outside and you don't want to place your backpack in the mud, on the dirt, on the ground, you can easily, hang it here. And by hanging your bag here, it also stabilizes your tripod. So you can use a sandbag or a heavy backpack to stabilize your tripod if it's a windy day. So additional weight can be put in here to keep it more stable. But the other use is that you can actually unscrew this hook, simply unscrew it all together, and then first the central column can get out of it completely, and on the other end of this hook you have another Allen key, and with that key you can actually unscrew this little piece here from the central column, right? Now, and you can remove it, and so you have very little central column. Then you put it back in here, of course. Right, what side? Now, then you can spread your legs as wide as you can. And now you have the lowest tripod possible. And of course, the ball head can be also unscrewed, so you can have even lower. I just need to fix the pinning mechanism to unscrew the ball head. You can get your camera even lower if you don't need the ball head. You can directly screw your camera in here. But just beware that these are different size threads. This is a bigger one, this is a 1/4 inch. Classic camera tripod screw thread, and this is a little bit bigger. I can't remember what size is that, but these are two standards, you know. Just remind me the figures in the comment section below. So now, that's how it works. You can use this small central column with that. That's a brilliant idea if you need it lower to the ground. But what's more to it, and much more, is that one of these legs can be actually unscrewed and you can have a monopod. As easy as that. Unscrew the leg, stretch it to full extent, there you go. Right? Of course, you unscrew your ball head, you screw it on top of it, but you can also use this central column to extend your monopod even more. And then let's do that. Let's get this part out of it. See, we attach this small piece to a bigger piece. We screw it back with the Allen wrench on the other end of the hook, right? Very good. And now I simply screw these on top of my monopod, and I have even a higher monopod. It's that easy. You see how fast and how simple is that? It's really high. You see how long is that? And that's there you go. You can do anything with your camera, with photo, for video, for anything. So this is how it works, and just with one simple movement you collapse it back, unscrew here, screw back here, and stuff. By the way, you can also do the same with this tripod, but it's a little bit more complicated. The idea is the same. You unscrew the piece, you turn it over and stuff, but it's a little bit more complicated. This is easier, just practically easier and faster and quicker. So that's about the legs. If I forget anything, just remind me. But what's interesting, we have here between the two pairs of the legs, between one of them is this knob that regulates, that fixes the central column. But the other two actually have 1/4 inch threads here. So you can have a couple of additional accessories, microphones, cages, batteries maybe, battery holders or whatever, or your light or something else. So you have additional threads, you can screw anything down in there. What else? We are going up, and up is actually our ball head, and this ball head is absolutely fantastic. You know, like on this small and this bigger tripod, or some of my other tripods, they basically have simply two types of heads. It's either ball head, which you unscrew and you can move it, rotate, tilt, and whatever you want to do. Nothing else, just the ball head, right? The same here. Unscrew and there goes your ball head to each side, right? And the other type that I don't have with me just has the tilting mechanism or the panning mechanism. Oh, I'm sorry. Just panning like this or tilting like this. But this fantastic ball head actually has it all. It's all in there. So the lowest knob here, you unscrew it and there's a really silky smooth panning. So that's for panning. Brilliant, fantastically smooth, like it flows like a liquid chocolate. It's so nice. And it has the numbers, the figures for the degrees of rotation, so you can always repeat your movement if you need the concrete movement to a certain degree. Yeah, you can repeat that by remembering the figures here on the side. By the way, there are a couple of these knobs that look similar, and they are so nice, not only because they screw it tight, but if something is in the way of it and you cannot get a hold of it, now then you can pull it outside, then rotate it and turn it from the different angles. So you see, well, I'll show you it at close-up. So if it's not comfortable with the angle that you have, you can always unscrew it and use it at a different angle. So That's just fantastic, and the same here. You can pull it towards you, then make any angle of your choice, then click and turn it again. And now let's continue. This one is for panning. The next one we have is for ballhead. So I loosen it and I have my full scale ballhead. I can, you see, tilt it anyway, rotate it, pan it, and so do any kind of funny angles. And I have this little space here to make it vertical as well. So I can have it vertical and rotate and do all the other kinds of stuff. So there goes your ballhead. So panning, ballhead. And now we have this handle, which is called video handle usually, and this is well, quite hard, but at the same time it's a soft pad. We simply unscrew it, and then we have our tilting mechanism. So back and forth easily, and we also have numbers here for the degree of tilting. So you have 0, 45, 16, 90 degrees. You can always repeat or be accurate with your numbers, with your degree of tilting. Then you of course tighten it back and it holds. You see how sturdy it is. It's not gonna fall. So it's all the mechanism is here, all the knobs, all the regulators are really keeping it tight. But that's not all. So you have your panning, you have your ballhead, you have your tilting. What else could you have? Well, actually, on top of it, we have the Arca-Swiss plate, and it can also be rotated. I've never seen it on any tripod. It's so fantastic. And let me give you an example. I often shoot videos or provide live streams from my studio, and there my computer stands right beside the wall, and I try to place my camera between my screen, my monitor, and my wall. And when I place my other tripod, which does not have this rotating plate, I always stick, you know, this handle into a wall, and it's not comfortable, and I'm trying to find the angle. And of course, if it looks like this exactly, and my camera looks towards this side, and I have a heavy lens, it can easily fall because this is not reliable, this part. I would really like the front leg be right below the lens, so it does not fall, because the front leg holds it. And I cannot do that on my other tripod. This is easy. Oh, see, there's a little red knob here. I just simply loosen it, and I can easily rotate the Arca-Swiss plate on top with the camera. So I can create any angle, so I can rotate the tripod itself, I can make the panning here, and I can get rid of this handle, say maybe like this, from the wall, and then I can rotate the plate itself to point the camera in the direction that I need. Absolutely fantastic. This is so useful. So useful in tight spaces, or if you have all other accessories, so you can get anything out of the way, so it's all comfortable around the camera and the nearby objects. Fantastic. But now let's get to the Arca-Swiss plate itself. It's released with these black knobs, so do not confuse this red one, which regulates the rotation of the plate, and the black one, which is actually releasing the plate itself. This is a standard Arca-Swiss plate, but it's just at the first glance. If you look closer, it has little flaps here, and if we pull them out, this turns into what could you imagine? Into a phone holder. It's unbelievable. It has a phone holder. I don't have to remember to carry a separate phone holder with me. Well, of course, if I want to shoot with the camera and the phone, I need to take two of them, but this one is beautiful. And let me just place my phone inside. And I have quite a bigger phone. This is my HTC U12 Plus, so it's the biggest that my beloved company has. It has some weird case, so I'm placing it a little bit on the side. But the phone itself is really wide. I believe it's the widest that they make these days. So anyway, it's making it even harder to hold, by the way, so it's more tougher test. And it has some these little pieces here down, so down there. So you place it and you tighten it back, so the holder itself is holding vertically. Now let me use the rotation of the plate so that you have a better look at it. Now this is really nice, and it holds in place. So if I want to make it like vertical or horizontal, I can do whatever I want with the say Ballhead. But what I can also do, I can tilt it here like this, and then use the rotation of the plate to make it vertical. So absolutely any kind of angle is possible with this tripod. And as well, you have, of course, again, you have your Ballhead and you have your penning. So you can do absolutely anything that you want with this versatile Ballhead, both with camera and your phone, if you needed that. So just untie it, put the flaps back, and now there we go. Another good thing to say about this tripod is its knobs. All of them are actually metallic. Some of them have some kind of a ribbon on it, and they are all comfortable. They don't have any rubber parts, but still they are very comfortable to use. Why I'm telling you that? Because my old tripod is here. It has the rubber pads or something like rubber pieces on top of every knob here. So like 4 of them, and each of them have these rubber pads, and over time they stretched, they unglued and stuff. You see, they can actually detach from the knob itself. So when I rotate, yes, I can fix it and stuff, but over time it starts spinning freely, not making any difference, you know. So these, I have to glue them back or whatever I have to do. It's not comfortable. It's not always acts as I would like it to. But these fully metallic and very comfortable, not slippery or something, and they would not lose like their operation characteristics over time, I believe, like with my old tripod. This is great. So there's the whole tripod, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna place a very heavy camera with heavy lens on top of it and see how hard it can handle. And then I'll tell you about several minor flaws that come with the tripod. You know, any product can have its disadvantages, and I'll point out some of them for you. I do not shoot wildlife or serious professional sports, so I don't have the biggest lenses. I don't even have the 70-200 2.8, not saying 300, 400 or something else, but this is quite really a heavy setup. This is 5D Mark III with battery grip with 2 batteries, 24-105, also now the lightest lens in the world, and just for additional weight I've put a flash on top of it. Well, I'm not sure you're gonna be shooting like this with a tripod, but anyway, we need a heavy set to heavy combination to test this tripod out. And so I have this plate, and I try to attach it with this key that comes with this hood on the bottom of the central column. And so the key lets me just try to fix it. This is one of the problems with this tripod, a little bit of a flaw, that I would say, oh no, I'm wrong, this is the wrong key, of course. That's the key, and that's one of the problems which I'll tell you about just in a few minutes when we finish with testing the endurance of this tripod. Now, all the elements in the tripod actually feel very reliable, so I fixed it in place. And now let's get it on the tripod itself. So I'm absolutely sure it will hold like this without problems. Yeah, that's easy. But what I'm really interested in is how strong actually the Ballhead is, because it's the weakest link. Now I'll try to fix it really hard. You see, apply force. And what I hope is that this weight does not bend the Ballhead. So let me see. My, oh my, it holds it. Can you believe it? You see, there's the tripod, there's the Ballhead. And this is, imagine, this is a really, really heavy setup. So let me rotate it. This Ballhead is really, really strong. Yeah, it can easily hold a really strong Ballhead with such a heavy setup. This is fantastic. And as I've told you, if you want it on a monopod, you can grab this. Oh, I need to place my camera for a second. And let's show you how the monopod works. Unscrew, untight, make legs, then, oh, come on, really heavy. Screw it back on. Wow, with this setup, it's actually like even higher than I basically need. But let me tighten this and see. If I let it go, if I let it stand by itself, it's really, really high even for not having a flippy screen. So it's useful to, this height is useful for, you know, your eye level to shoot videos especially. But it holds it, it does not fall, it does not collapse back by itself. So the legs are really, really strong. You see, let me, maybe like this. You see, I'm holding it with just my, my thumb so that it doesn't fall, and the legs can hold it, this weight. So it's absolutely great, and it's fine. It all works, and it can handle really, really heavy weight. And this is a DSLR camera and DSLR lens, and contemporary mirrorless combinations are actually way easier than these old DSLRs. So you can be sure, you can make sure that this little tripod is very strong and very reliable. So now I'm about to tell you just a few flaws that come to my mind with this tripod. Well, first of them you've already seen. These keys are different. So this hook with the Allen key is just for fixing the central column and make it smaller. And this one is for adjusting the Arca-Swiss plate and the stiffness of the legs. It would be so much better that would be the one and the same. So you wouldn't need this additional holder here, even that it has the magnetic system to hold your key in place. But if you had this one key for everything, and it's always with you because it's, you know, it's attached to the hook, that would be so much easier. You wouldn't need to have any other key. And now with that comes another point, and that is this Arca-Swiss. You see, I need to take another key, a different key, and unscrew it. And this Arca-Swiss plate you can unscrew with this key. That's the first option. The second option is you can do that with your nails, nail, or with a coin, or with a flat screwdriver, or with a spoon, with a knife, with anything. So there's a space for that. So this is the second way, but there is no third way, which actually is here. Why I love the plate on this tripod is it has this little metallic loop. So you don't need to have any Allen key, you don't need a coin or whatever. You have this little loop. Well, I'm showing it to you on a B-roll. You can use your hands. That is so way easy. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. I believe they could have this metallic loop in here, and that would be useful, even more useful than having this little key here with magnetic thing and stuff. So that's the second thing. I would love to have these little metallic loops. The other thing is the level, the bubble level, the spirit level, to have your horizon straight. Both of these tripods have that, but oh, let me not drop the camera, let me put it away. This one has it right here beside the plate, and the Arca-Swiss plate does not cover the bubble, so it works. But anyway, if you place your camera in here and it's big enough, it's still gonna cover this bubble, but at least it's outside of the plate. So if you place your camera like this, oh no, I don't believe you will be seeing it. But anyway, it's on the outside. But what with our best tripod? Here, the spirit level, the bubble level, is actually right under the plate. So you cannot even see it. You cannot see it when the plate is on. You see it right like this. That might be a problem because you need to correct your level before you place your camera. And by the way, here's the instruction. Well, first, I would tell you to adjust the tilt mechanism to 0 degrees. First thing, to 0 degrees like this. And then you adjust your ball head without the Arca-Swiss plate, and you just make your bubble be right in the center. Then you fix the ball head. So now it's the horizon, and only then you can attach your Arca-Swiss plate to your camera and then place it back on the tripod, and you'll have your horizon. But when your camera is on the tripod, you don't have any level. Well, you already have it beforehand, but you cannot adjust it because you don't see the bubble. It's underneath the plate. So that might be a problem sometimes. And the last thing, it's a very tiny thing, but it still bothers me, is this pad, this soft pad. By the way, they have these 2 pads here on the legs, 2 and long of them. Yeah, they're not slippery, so it might be useful if you're wearing gloves, if it's raining or something. But this one doesn't have them on the legs, but still it's a matte finish. I don't think it's gonna be slippery in any conditions. Well, at least it had never been a problem for me. It's always okay, but of course, all right, it has these pads here. It doesn't, but it has this video handle and it has this soft pad, and it's very comfortable and it feels good and it's brilliant in operation. But I'm not sure how long it's gonna endure. I believe it can easily be cut or damaged, I don't know, or burned somehow or whatever. So it's just what bothers me. You gotta be careful with that because it's hard, but it's soft pad still. It's not metal, it's not plastic. You know, it's a nice soft pad, but we'll see how long it's gonna last. And of course, why adjusting your tilt first and then the level with the ball head? Because if you mess here, if you make the wrong, say 45 degrees here on the tilt mechanism, right? You can still then adjust your spirit level with the ball head, and it will be all right. You'll have the horizon. Oh, come on, I need to get it out of the way. Right. So say I have 45 degrees on my tilt, and then I can adjust and make the straight level like horizontal with the ball head, right? Yeah, it's horizontal, it's okay. So if I put the plate, it's horizontal. But the reading here will tell you the wrong figures. So if you want to start everything from 0 degrees, then just adjust the tilt. Adjust the tilt first and then your bubble level with the ball head. And by the way, there's an additional 1/4 inch thread here right beside the plate, so at the top of the ball head. So you have actually 3 1/4 inch spare threads, 2 between the legs and 1 beside the Arca-Swiss plate. So that's about it. The most versatile, the most comfortable tripod that I've ever used, and it's really small and very, very light. But I believe if the company goes further with the tripods, they could create something like that in this form factor, because these are really small. Legs can be extended, they can be a little bit bigger. They have the same ball heads, the small ball heads that are really heavy duty and very comfortable. And it even has a little bit of a cold shoe for additional accessories. So I believe FreeWell could create the same, and if they do, I'd be happy to review it as well. So that's about it. Paul Kretz was with you here with the best tripod that he ever used. So try it out if you can. It's a little bit expensive, of course. It's about maybe 3 times more expensive than this one. But this is so much more versatile, comfortable, and easy to use. All right. I believe it's long review enough. So leave a comments if you tried it. If you have any other comments about some other tripods that you've tried, What a sentence. And anyway, watch my other videos, subscribe to the channel, press like, and I'll see you in the next videos. Or maybe not. It's up to you.